Welcome to Find Myself Free, the podcast. I'm Ellie Young, alcohol-free life coach, mom, and athlete. I'm dedicated to helping others change their relationship to alcohol by sharing my journey of transformation. Fascinated by my own capacity for change after decades of gray area drinking, I'm passionate about sharing what I've learned from neuroscience and positive psychology to help you break free from the drinking cycle and unlock your true potential. Hear my personal stories of triumph and struggle as I navigate raising two boys, finding myself after 40, building a business, and doing it all alcohol-free. From women's health and cycle syncing to fasting and biohacking, this podcast is your roadmap to a healthier, purpose-filled life that starts with changing your relationship to alcohol. It's time to embrace change, find balance, and create the life you were meant for. Welcome to Find Myself Free. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Find Myself Free. Happy Friday. Today's episode is all about gut health. I have been geeking out on this in my functional and integrative nutrition, and I'm trying to put it all together for you guys in a way that combines all of the things that I talk about. So our hormone health and what alcohol is actually doing to our gut. So the gut health is deeply connected to our mental health, our hormone balance, our energy levels, our immunity. I've been really focused on how much the gut health impacts our immune systems and just like your overall well-being. If there could be a root cause, a root place for all of your health, it's the gut. It's truly it's truly this barrier, right, of the outside world to our inside world. We are taking things from the outside world, we are digesting them, we are putting them into our gut, and then our body decides what to do with that information. And it can either heal us or it can inflame us. So how we are treating our gut is tantamount to our overall health, right? So um, I really got passionate and interested in all of this because of my Hashimoto's diagnosis. So I've learned now that Hashimoto's, this is an autoimmune condition that where my immune system is actually attacking my thyroid. And I tested for this with a naturopath. This is an extended thyroid panel outside of what like your normal blood work would test for, which is just TSH. This tests for all of the thyroid antibodies, and it breaks down T3 and T4, and it tells you all of your different levels. And so my thyroid antibodies were off the charts, like crazy high, which means my immune system was, in fact, attacking my thyroid. And now my thyroid levels weren't super, super low just yet, which kind of means that they had caught it early before my thyroid was damaged too much, but I was trending low. I was basically on the lowest side of normal. And I actually just retested my thyroid, and I'm waiting to see the results to see if all the protocols that I've been introducing over the last 3 months now are working. Um, but basically, if you have ever felt bloated, anxious, foggy headed, and didn't know why, you were probably thinking, oh gosh, it's perimenopause. That's at least what I thought was going on. Um, but maybe you didn't know that it was your gut bacteria can actually be determining how well you feel. And the health of your gut lining is actually impacting your hormone levels. It could impact this autoimmunity. And so basically backing up, sorry, I misspoke there. What happened with the Hashimoto's is one of the biggest triggers for this happening is a leaky gut. Now, I go back to all of my drinking days, and I am certain I had a leaky gut there. And I find it odd that I am just now being diagnosed with Hashimoto's. I probably have had it a lot longer than that because I quit drinking over 4 years ago and felt that um, I've restored what would have been a leaky gut. But now, being, I think maybe the hormones triggered, the hormone changes of perimenopause triggered this autoimmunity, or triggered it to get worse. And so that's kind of how autoimmunity works. It's like it starts with the leaky gut, something then, and so stuff is getting through because 70% of your immune system lives inside the gut. So if that barrier is broken down, that boundary, and things are getting through to the immune system, your immune system starts to get inflamed and starts to go after stuff. And what happened with me then is my my immune system, instead of attacking these foreign bodies coming in, it started attacking my own tissue, my thyroid. And so something triggers that. It could be a stress, it could be a trauma, it could be a change in hormones. So, like perimenopause or menopause, like pregnancy, a lot of autoimmunity gets triggered around pregnancy. So, anyways, I have just been taking in all this information through Hashimoto's and through my functional nutrition course, and I'm trying to put it all together for you guys so that you can maybe start to self diagnose some of what's going on with you. And the good thing is you don't even really need to test. I mean, I would encourage, if you are suffering from like sluggish metabolism, you can't tolerate cold, your skin is dry, your hair is starting to fall out. These are some of the symptoms that I was experiencing. And again, it sounds so similar to perimenopause, but once I got tested and I was like, oh no, this is actually Hashimoto's and I have a slow thyroid. It it allowed me to really fine tune my treatment. And a big component of this is gut health. Um, so let's break it down exactly how the gut impacts your brain, your hormones, your immune system, and more importantly, though, how you can actually start healing it today. Again, outside of testing to find out whether you have it or not, the treatment's the same. The preventative measures are the same. This is stuff that you can do for your gut right now that'll make a huge difference in your overall health. So, first, let's get into the gut brain axis. This is the key to your mood, your energy, your ability to tolerate stress, right? The gut brain axis. So basically, this is just a two-way communication system. Your gut is communicating with your brain, and your brain is communicating with your gut, meaning your gut affects your mental state, and your mental state affects your gut. So this happens via the vagus nerve, right? A lot of you guys have heard about this. This is like it's kind of like a highway that connects your gut and your brain, and it sends signals like both ways, right? So a lot of you have probably heard this, that 90% of your serotonin, this is basically your happiness neurotransmitter. It's produced in the gut. So if your gut is inflamed or imbalanced, it can cause anxiety, it can cause brain fog. Oh my gosh, I had so much brain fog when at the time of being diagnosed with Hashimoto's. You should hear my husband, like I literally felt brain dead some days. Like I was like, I can't think straight, directions, trying to drive places. I literally felt like I was in, like, when you zone out, that sensation of zoning out sometimes, I was getting that, but like often. And when I was really trying to focus, I was just like, I'm stuck. My brain is zoned out. I didn't realize it at the time, just, oh my gosh, because now that it's gone, I'm like, oh, whoa, that was really bad. Um, it can also cause, so if your gut's imbalanced, it can also cause depression, right? They're now establishing huge correlation links between gut health and depression, and it can cause you to be really fatigued. I was super fatigued. Um, so chronic stress, a bad diet, alcohol, you're going to hear me talk about that a lot today, and gut inflammation that just coming from bad food. It can disrupt this communication of the vagus nerve, and it leads to actually a cortisol spike, right? So it increases your stress and it worsens your stress response. Basically, the stress creates more stress, and this can further lead to like poor mental clarity, more brain fog, more depression, more anxiety, right? So one of the best ways is to support this gut healing is to try and support your vagus nerve. And you can do this by like deep breathing, cold exposure, dancing, singing, anything that's going to lift your spirits and take you out of that ruminating, worrisome part of your brain. You know, meditation, taking a walk, connecting with a friend. this is all going to help calm that vagus nerve and allow that gut-brain communication to kind of improve, right? But beyond mood, your gut is also in charge of how well your hormones function. Now, this is something you've heard me talk quite a bit about, but I really wanted to get more into like the nitty-gritty science of this because that's just the way my brain works. And it helps me eat better knowing that this is exactly what these foods are designed to do. So, your gut and estrogen. Why is a healthy gut essential for balancing your hormones? Um, so your gut it's not just about digestion, right? It's actually one of the biggest players in hormone balance, especially when it comes to estrogen. So if you're dealing with symptoms like PMS, heavy periods, mood swings, or perimenopause struggles, like most women I know, I can't really think of anybody my age who isn't kind of struggling with this, but a lot of people just accept it as like, oh, I can't do anything about it. Well, you can. You can. And one of the biggest ones is working on your gut health, because that could be the root of your hormone imbalance. So there's actually, and this is super, super interesting. It's a fascinating topic, and I'm not even going to do it justice, but I'm just going to try and give you an overview. There's a special collection of the gut bacteria that's called the estrobolome. I think I'm saying that right, estrobolome. And its job is to basically metabolize and eliminate estrogen. Okay. So when this system is like working, excess estrogen gets detoxed, which is what we need, and your hormones stay balanced. But when it's out of balance, when your gut is out of balance, whether it's from stress, maybe alcohol, processed foods, or maybe even antibiotics, right? That could be like upsetting the balance of the good and bad bacteria in your body. Your estrogen metabolism goes a little haywire. So, what happens? Basically, if your gut bacteria, they actually, this estrobolome, I have a hard time saying that, produces this enzyme called beta glucuronidase. You don't need to remember that. Just know that it produces an enzyme. And its job is to basically determine whether or not this estrogen is going to get eliminated or reabsorbed by the body. So if it's not working properly, if this enzyme isn't working properly because the estrobolome isn't balanced, this gut bacteria isn't balanced or, healthy in your gut lining, then it leads to this more of the estrogen being reabsorbed by the body instead of getting eliminated. And this basically leads to estrogen dominance. We've all heard about this. This is like the PMS, the bloating, the breast tenderness, the mood swings, heavy periods, weight gain. Um, the triggers for disrupting your estrobolome, we know them. You're familiar with them. Alcohol, processed foods, high stress, and not eating enough fiber, right? A fiber is contributing to that healthy gut bacteria. And on the flip side, in addition, so we've got this kind of like garden of our gut bacteria that's helping us metabolize the estrogen properly. Um, but unfortunately, when we also don't have enough estrogen because we are in perimenopause and our estrogen is dipping, that low amount of estrogen actually also weakens the gut lining, making it more permeable, leading to leaky gut, right? So this is again where toxins and maybe undigested food particles that are bigger that shouldn't be coming through that barrier, they start to kind of slip into the bloodstream, which is where that immune system then gets triggered. We get inflamed, we start to deal with food sensitivities, digestive issues, and even autoimmunity like Hashimoto's. This is where that system can get triggered. This is why I eliminate gluten and dairy now, because my immune system is so fired up to react to things coming through that me eliminating things like gluten and dairy, even though I didn't have what I would call a sensitivity, or at least one that I felt was symptomatic, um, I eliminated those things now to calm my immune system down. Um, Interestingly, you can be asymptomatic and still have sensitivities to these things. They might be very, very subtle. They might be mild, and your body, you have mild bloating, mild swelling, mild puffiness, migraines, things like that I wasn't tying necessarily to gluten or dairy, But over time, with the immune system becoming inflamed in the way it does, it was triggering all these things in my body. So that's why that's when the hugest improvements I've had. No migraines after eliminating gluten and dairy. I don't know if I'll have to do that forever, but for now, that's what I'm doing. Um, and let's back up and talk about alcohol for a second, because if you are still drinking, this is something that might tip the scales and help motivate you to continue to make changes in your relationship to alcohol. Um, Alcohol destroys your gut lining. It makes it more permeable. It worsens your inflammation. It also disrupts that estrobolome, right? So it's making it harder. This is why alcohol raises the bad estrogen in your body, because it's disrupting that estrobolome, making it harder for your body to metabolize and detox that estrogen properly, right? Those enzymes, their job is to package up the estrogen to go to the liver and then basically determine whether or not it's going to get reabsorbed. We don't want that, or eliminated, pushed out. And so if that's not working, if that system, it's kind of like a Goldilocks system too, where it's like it is designed to be like, okay, let's give you the right amount, or pull back if we have too much, right? So one of the ways you can actually support your estrobolome is with your diet, right? And so you've heard me talk about cruciferous veggies. You've heard me talk about eating lots of phytoestrogen. So when you are eating these fiber-rich foods that are going to help feed that good bacteria, this is like flax seeds, chia seeds, leafy greens, beans. This is going to help create a healthy estrobolome, right? We also talk about eating lots of cruciferous veggies, right? This is also, again, going to support that estrobolome, which is then going to allow for the proper metabolization of that estrogen. So that is why this diet is not only is it incredible for your gut health, it's incredible for your hormonal health and eliminating these things out of your body, right? So we want to eat fiber-rich foods. We want to support estrogen detox with cruciferous veggies. You're going to want to ditch the alcohol and processed foods, all that sugar. And then we want to load up on probiotics and ferment, which is basically your fermented foods, right? Your sauerkraut, your kimchi, your yogurt, your kefir. I am now dairy-free, so I used to eat a ton of Greek yogurt. Now I do a coconut yogurt, which I am happy to report has a ton of probiotics too. And you're also going to want to balance your blood sugar and support your liver. Of course, this is, again, where the estrogen is detoxed. But again, it starts in the gut. It starts with that estrobolome, right? So if your body is feeling off, and your gut and hormones are probably at the root of it. But the good news is you have like so much power to fix this. You can start by just making small little changes. Listen to your body and give your gut the love it needs. Your hormones will thank you, right? Small little changes. Cruciferous veggies, probiotics, and then some fiber, the prebiotics. A lot of it is prebiotic. It's going to help feed that gut bacteria to help create that healthy gut lining, that healthy estrobolome, okay? Another really cool thing about estrogen and the gut is that your gut is like a little estrogen factory, right? It can actually make estrogen from certain foods. So this goes back to the diet. If foods like leafy greens, flax seeds, lentils, chickpeas, tofu contain something called phytoestrogens. Okay, so you might have heard of this. Some people are like, ooh, don't I not want estrogen coming from my food? You do want phytoestrogens. Those are the plant compounds that actually mimic estrogen in the body. Your gut can actually take these phytoestrogens and turn them into active compounds that either support estrogen when levels are too low, like in perimenopause, or it can block estrogen receptors when levels are too high. How cool is that, right? So phytoestrogens, this particular diet, your body it actually can say, ooh, do we need to dial up and actually mimic estrogen and support estrogen because we're low, or does it need to block it? How cool is that? Those are phytoestrogens. We are not confusing this with xenoestrogens. That's with an X, Xeno estrogens. Those are the synthetic estrogens that are found in all the toxic stuff in our environments, like the plastics, the beauty products, the household cleaners, right? Xenoestrogens metabolize into the bad estrogen that can actually create cancerous cell growth, right? That's what we don't want. But phytoestrogens, these plant compounds, actually work in your favor and they help you balance your hormones naturally, right? All right. So that is a little bit about hormones and the gut. I think that is just so fascinating and so cool. And again, I'm just going to hit on this one more time because if you don't have enough ammo to help you not drink this weekend on your Friday, on your weekend, let's just go over a few more points about what alcohol is doing to your gut balance. Okay. Here's the hard truth. Alcohol directly destroys your gut lining. It increases gut permeability, meaning the toxins and undigested food particles are slipping right through and disrupting your estrobolome. It makes it harder to clear out the excess estrogen. It leads to hormone imbalances, mood swings, and worsened PMS symptoms, right? Not to mention it wrecks your sleep, your metabolism, your motivation, all the things, right? So, how does that feel? How does it feel? Does that make you want to not drink tonight? Okay. When you have increased intestinal permeability, let's just call it leaky gut, right? You're going to be bloated. You're going to have brain fog, anxiety, mood swings, weakened immune system, and skin issues. It also is going to increase inflammation. It's going to weaken that gut-brain axis, right? That's what's worsening your anxiety, depression, brain fog. And all of this, like literally, you could just cut alcohol and do your gut such a massive favor. On top of that, alcohol, when it destroys that gut lining, it strips the gut of its essential nutrients, right? Because it actually wipes out all these little villi that are there to absorb the different nutrients coming in. So all of a sudden, now you're not even absorbing. So a lot of people, this was me for a long time. You're eating all the healthy things, you're taking all the supplements, but you're actually not absorbing it because your gut lining is so wrecked. Ugh. Yeah. So leaky gut, it's not just like an inconvenience. It can trigger inflammation, autoimmunity, and it makes you more susceptible to illness, right? So the gut health, it also plays a huge role in the immune system. I have been working on this a lot with my family right now because it's cold season here. And I'm just like, it all is starting in the gut, right? We know that 80%, I think I keep saying that statistic wrong. It is 80%. 80% of your immune system is in your gut, meaning the strength of your immune system response, it's starting with the microbiome, okay? A healthy gut microbiome is going to increase the strength of your immune response. And it also means if basically if the gut lining is leaky and lots of stuff is coming through, the immune system is going to get triggered over and over and over again, right? And it actually weakens the immune system. But if the gut is tight and only certain things are getting in, then the immune system can mount a really healthy, strong response and target the correct things, right? So this is huge. This is huge. If your kids are sick, think of first and foremost about their gut health. Can you get them something probiotic? Can you get them prebiotics, some fiber, and can you get them some antioxidants that are going to help, again, restore that gut lining so less stuff is getting through their guts, right? All right, so let's get into the top foods and habits that are going to heal your gut naturally, all right? Probiotics. This is what is going to introduce the healthy gut bacteria. And we want a wide variety here. A lot of people just take a probiotic supplement and then they carry on about their lives. So if you're just taking a supplement, I heard one of my instructors say it's kind of like a tourist. It's nice. It passes through and it does some good while it's there, but then it leaves. It leaves the gut. If you are actually getting your probiotics from food, then they are actually going to take root and stay a while in the gut, which is what we want. We want a big, healthy garden of lots of different varieties of probiotics in there, okay? Then we need to feed that bacteria with prebiotics. That's like your garlic, onions, leeks, asparagus, bananas. It's not all fiber. I used to think prebiotics was like all fiber. Not true. Google prebiotic sources and you'll get this interesting list. Apples, bananas, oats, and just pick a handful that are like your easy ones to incorporate. And that's what I do. I just keep a little list. I'm like, all right, I on top of trying to get my kids to eat the rainbow, I try to like make sure that they are getting one of these prebiotic food sources like at every meal, right? And that could just be an apple, a banana, some oats, like super simple. Those are the main ones I use in my house. But again, I could always use more variety. And then there's polyphenol-rich foods. Okay, basically these reduce inflammation. These are your berries. These are basically like really good antioxidants. Antioxidant sources like green tea, dark chocolate, olive oil, and then gut healing foods. This is going to help repair the gut lining. This is your bone broth, your collagen, aloe vera, and then you're going to want to throw in some anti-inflammatory fats. These are your omega-3s. This is what, again, also is going to help calm that inflammation. That's like salmon, walnuts, chia seeds. And again, the habits, we want to reduce processed food and refined sugar. You really want to manage your stress. Chronic stress is going to weaken that gut lining. Prioritize your sleep. Again, sleep actually disrupts bad sleep. Bad sleep actually disrupts the gut bacteria as well. Again, because bad sleep is going to raise your cortisol, which is going to disrupt that gut-brain axis, that vagus nerve, and it's going to disrupt the bacteria. Isn't that crazy? Exercise, but avoid excessive exercise where you're chronically pushing your body. I was guilty of this too. That can actually harm your gut health. Again, because it's the cortisol. And then you're going to want to eat mindfully. Chew slowly, chew well, and avoid eating on the go. Try to eat mindfully. All right, last but not least, and I got to run. This requires a mindset shift, right? We're talking about knowing versus doing. So much of what I learn, I'm really big on knowing. I know all this information, but it's a struggle to actually put it into practice, right? To actually do it, right? Knowledge is power, but only if you apply it. So many of us know we need to eat better, sleep more, reduce stress, but why is it so hard to change, right? The brain craves familiarity and ease, right? Even if something's bad for us, if it's familiar, it feels safe to the brain. That's why drinking is such a hard habit to overcome, right? But true transformation is going to happen outside of this comfort zone. So we have to kind of reframe any new healthy habit we're trying to incorporate, whether that's gut health, whether that's cutting alcohol. It's instead of I have to do this, it's I get to do this for my health. I am focusing on that future self. I am focusing on all the incredible benefits that are coming my way. And so for me, knowing this science behind it, knowing that every little piece of food I'm putting in my body has a mission, has like a really important job to either heal me or inflame me, it helps me make better food choices. It helps me think about my relationship to food completely different. I used to only eat to be skinny. I used to only be like, I'm hungry. My body is craving food and energy. But I was like, what is the least amount of food I can put in my body that's not going to bloat me and not going to and make me feel skinny? I never thought about it from a nutrient standpoint. I never thought about it from a healing standpoint for hormonal support. This is a mindset shift. You have this opportunity to put ingredients in your body that are going to tell your body, I'm taking care of you, I'm healing you. And let's not forget the placebo effect here, because when you believe the choices that you're making for your body are good, there is a bit of a placebo effect. The brain is like, yes, I am doing something awesome for my body. And again, this is a mindset shift too, because if you're only eating to be skinny, you are feeling deprived. You are coming from the state of like, I can't have any more because I'm ashamed of how I look and I need to change my body or whatever it is. When you're coming from a place of nourishing yourself and healing yourself and picking food based on its nutrient density that is designed to actually make your body thrive, it's a completely different shift. I am not thinking about calories. I'm thinking about what do my hormones need? What does my brain need? What does my gut need right now to feel amazing? And the feedback loop, you will start to feel good because your gut is going to be healing and all your symptoms. This is the root. The gut is the root. So reframe your approach. I don't have to do this because I'm afraid of what'll happen if I don't, right? I used to be like, oh, what happens if I overeat today? I'm going to have to work out like crazy because I'm trying to be skinny, right? Instead, it's like, I'm doing this for my health. I'm setting a good example of what it means to eat well for my kids, right? So start small. Pick one gut healing habit today, whether it's just like adding a probiotic, a food, try to add a probiotic food, chewing your food more, or going for a walk after meal, and celebrate your progress. Your gut and hormones are not going to heal overnight, but every little step is a win. Every little step is a win and something that you can look forward to amounting to improved health overall. So if you're struggling with any of this, I know I have been there. I want you to know I've got you. I can help you create a personalized plan. I can work one-on-one with you to support you, whether that be alcohol, whether that be hormone balancing, gut health, functional nutrition. So if you'd like to set up a free call with me, you know where to find me. Go to my website and you can book a free call. And I'm also have a new awesome freebie that I just created that's really dense and awesome. It is a free um, cycle syncing starter kit. And you can get it also at the link in the show notes. And this is basically a starter guide for hormone balancing by learning how to sync your cycle. I took all the guesswork out of it. I've made it really simple so you know exactly what to eat and how to exercise throughout your cycle. And a lot of this is also focusing on your gut health as well. So I am with you as always. Thanks for being here. And until next time, you got this. Hey, you've just listened to an episode of Find Myself Free. And if some part of this left you wanting more, if your curiosity has been piqued and your intuition is telling you, I'm ready for more, then check out my coaching offers at findmyselffree.com. I have the Brave course to help you break free from booze. And I designed this course with the exact lessons that led to my transformation. I also have the Balance Challenge for those ready to learn the art of cycle syncing to balance their hormones. If you're looking for additional support and to take either of these programs to the next level, I also offer one-on-one coaching. Now, I worked with a coach for 4 months at the start of my alcohol-free journey, and it made all the difference. Being able to talk to someone who knew what I was going through and could help me navigate my new world gave me a foundation of support I could build on. And it's a big reason why I'm a coach today. I want to help others find their freedom and level up their health. If this sounds good to you, connect with me at findmyselffree.com and set up a call. Listen to your intuition that is telling you you were meant for more. I am with you. You got this.